Alright guys, it is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly and we are back once again to preview United's game against West Ham. Sunday 2 o'clock kickoff at the London Stadium, and as all Man United games, you've got to be looking forward to it right now. It's a good time to be a United fan. Obviously, young boys game aside, I blanked that from my memory. I don't remember it. We go into this game against West Ham looking to pick up 3 points and make it 29 games in a row unbeaten away from home. A run that stretches as far back as Liverpool in the Premier League. I think we lost that game 2-0. That was a game that Salah obviously scored his goal, took his top of everything. Since then, we haven't lost a Premier League away game. So it's been a while. But we are back to preview another Manchester United game. Before we get into it, please do hit that like button if you aren't already, and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Zeroing in now on the 900 subscriber mark, so anything you guys can do to help us out with that would be absolutely amazing. I can see Rich has joined us. Thank you for joining, Rich. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm back. It's kind of new, but it's kind of old. I have used this background before. It's a different room in my house, so I've been able to use it, and it's a bit better lighting. I'm sure you'll agree that the lighting I was using in the other background just wasn't as good. My face looked really whiter than it normally is, to be fair, but I think this gives a bit of better lighting. I mean, it shows off any bad parts as well, good parts and bad parts. It's all bearing that, you can all see it now. You can all see it, which is, I'm not sure is a good thing or a bad thing. But I think the lighting's better anyway, so that's good. Matthew joined. Thank you for joining, Matthew. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well this evening. But yeah, we're going to talk about the West Ham game. We're going to talk a bit about them, about what they're going to bring to the table, and what we've got to come up against, what we're dealing with, because my initial hunch is that this is not going to be an easy game. If we look at how our games have gone this season, apart from the 2 home games we played in the Premier League, this game is going to be difficult. Every game we played away from home so far this season has been difficult. You think of Southampton away from home, Young Boys away from home, Wolves away from home. All 3 of those away games have been difficult. So maybe people were right. Maybe people were right when they were saying that when fans come back into the ground, we're going to struggle, because it seemingly has shown that we've struggled a little bit when the home fans are there. But we need to get the job done. We need to get the 3 points. West Ham, of course, will be without Antonio, joint top goal scorer in the Premier League this season with 4 goals. Joint with Bruno Fernandes, of course, who could go above him into, well, complete outright first place as a goal scorer in the Premier League. And obviously, when you've got someone like Cristiano Ronaldo on your team, you're going to back yourselves. But enough about that. We're going to talk a little bit about West Ham, who currently sit 8th in the Premier League, 8 points to their name, only 2 points behind us in 3rd place after today's results. Obviously, Man City dropped points at home to Southampton, Liverpool with a convincing 3-0 win over Crystal Palace, and Arsenal, who aren't really our competitors, but they did win 1-0 against Burnley, which, I wasn't expecting. I really wasn't expecting that. But they won 1-0 thanks to an Odegaard free kick. Other than that, Chelsea and Spurs are playing tomorrow in the 4 or 4:30 kickoff, the late Sunday afternoon kickoff. So before that game, if we win convincingly at the London Stadium by 3 goals or more, we can go top of the Premier League outright. However, I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that's going to happen, especially with our record at the London Stadium. Even though in the last couple of games we've been there, hasn't been too bad. Obviously, the last time we went there, we came from behind to win 3-1. Unfortunately, I just think that West Ham right now are riding a little bit of a wave. They've just won their first Europa League game since 2015, 2-0 in Croatia against Zagreb. They're on a bit of a high. The one thing I think that will play into our strengths is the fact that West Ham haven't really had to go through the Thursday-Sunday thing, and this is the first time in this season that they'll have to go through that. And yes, because it's only the first league game, it probably won't affect them too much, but when they've gone through, Sunday, Thursday 4 or 5 times, it does start to wear on you, and it will have an impact on West Ham's season. I think it's going to be difficult for them, especially with the fact they don't have the same sort of squad depth as a Man City or a Chelsea, or even us, really. You need to have that squad depth if you want to go far in these competitions, and it's going to be difficult to juggle it. But who knows? Maybe they pull out a result on Sunday and put us to the sword. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but I think that will be a factor in this game. It's kind of mental that Bruno is into his 3rd season and has still never lost an away game in the league. Yeah, I remember hearing that stat actually, that Bruno Fernandes hasn't actually lost an away game since joining Manchester United. I was thinking it can't be true, but yeah, it absolutely is true. It absolutely is true. 29 away games unbeaten for Manchester United if we win at the London Stadium, which is a big if, to be fair. But if we do win, it'll be 29 games away from home in the league unbeaten. What an achievement that would be. Rasmus, thanks for joining. Rasmus, appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Appreciate it. And guys, if you're watching as a live stream, please do get your thoughts in the live chat. I want to hear what you guys have to say. But if you're watching on a video on the replay, make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say, whether you're watching live or as a video. So please do leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And Daz has joined us as well. Thanks for joining, Daz. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Good morning to you too, my friend. Good morning, good morning. Make sure as well you check out Daz's football stand and Rich Sports as well. Brilliant stuff over there. If you haven't already, go check them out. Great stuff. Yeah, we've talked a little bit about West Ham. As I said, they're 8th in the league right now. If they beat us, they will go ahead of us, which is a bit of a daunting sight. But they will go ahead of us if they win. Only 2 points separating us and West Ham. It's still very early in the season, to be fair. It is still very early. Only 5 games into the Premier League season after tomorrow's game. So, it's still very early. And even if we do find ourselves, 7th or 8th, I think there's like 3 points separating the top 10. So it's very early on in the season. Obviously, we want to win the game. And I think if we do win the game, it'll put us with a little bit of clear water between us and the likes of Man City and some of the teams below. But it's a little bit of an opportunity with Chelsea and Spurs playing each other. And of course, City dropping points. There is a potential for 2 teams, 2 of our rivals, to drop points. There's a definite chance of that happening. So we've got to take advantage of that and hopefully add and extend our Premier League away unbeaten streak. Players to watch out for West Ham this season. Obviously, Antonio was the guy that was going to be the main highlight. He was in brilliant form this season. Pablo Fornals, I would say, is someone to highlight as well. He is the 2nd highest West Ham goal scorer this season, scored 2 goals for them so far, and apparently he's looked very, very good. I haven't actually watched West Ham that much this season, to be honest with you, but when I have watched them, Fornals has been absolutely everywhere on the pitch. He's showing the form that I think a lot of West Ham fans thought they were going to see from him in his first season. He's been there 3 seasons for West Ham now, or at least this is his 3rd full season for West Ham, and I think he's starting to hit a bit of form. So I think Fornals is going to be someone that we're going to have to contest with. Obviously someone like Ben Rama as well. He's very, very lively. But I think the one thing that does worry me about West Ham is that David Moyes, as manager of West Ham, obviously former United manager, he will know that we struggle against a low block. He will absolutely know that. And I would not be surprised if we struggle to break West Ham down. If you look at the last game he played against David Moyes' West Ham at London Stadium, we obviously went 1-0 down. But the game kind of opened up after we got the equaliser, which was about a 30-yard long shot. And once, obviously, the game opened up again when we drew level, we were able to kind of cut them apart a little bit on the counter-attack. They seem to play quite a high line, although obviously that was last season, so I don't think they've really changed that much from last season, but who knows, they might not be playing that high line anymore. But I think, realistically, it's not going to be easy. Having a full capacity crowd at the London Stadium, Man United coming to town, Cristiano Ronaldo coming to town as well. It's not going to be easy. It really isn't going to be easy. But if we get those 3 points, it'll be 3 big points as well. Dazza says, yeah, we've lost both games against them so far. Of course, Dazza's Blackpool vlog, make sure to check that out. He says, looking forward to winning at the Dog Bowl. Yeah, their stadium's a bit of a weird shape. And to be honest with you, I reckon if you ask most West Ham fans, they would, in a heartbeat, go back to Upton Park. In an absolute heartbeat, I reckon. But in the end of the day, their stadium, unfortunately, it was all about money, all about making money, all about, having more seats, having more capacity. But I think the atmosphere is more important, in my opinion. But Rasmus says, is that only in EPL? Because I think he played, it's a shit show of the second leg against Roma. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. I think you're right, to be fair. I think, yeah, in the Premier League, he didn't play as well in the Europa League, but yeah, in the Premier League, I think that's about right. Yeah, I think that's what the away record means, I think, as well. Box, thanks for joining as well. Appreciate it. Big up to yourself, Box. Big up to yourself. Hope you're doing well. He says, not confident about the game tomorrow. To be honest with you, I'm a little bit with you. I'm a little bit with you on that one. I think it's going to be a hard slog. No matter what happens, I don't see us turning up to the London Stadium and battering them or anything like that. I think it's going to be a very, very difficult game. I think, there's going to be a fairly decent atmosphere, although obviously if it was at Upton Park, I'd be even more worried about the atmosphere. But as it's at the London Stadium, there'll still be a pretty decent crowd. Obviously, as I said, Manchester United coming to town. West Ham always love a battle against us. And it's always a decent game. I can't remember many bad games where us and West Ham have been involved. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good game for the neutral, but I just think it's going to be a hard slog. And I think they won't have as much up front, obviously, without Antonio, as Rich mentioned here. No Antonio, because he got suspended. A red card, I think a second yellow card at the end of their game. I think it was, who's against Southampton. At the end of their game against Southampton, Antonio got showed a second yellow card. He's out of this game, which is good for us because he was on ridiculous form. He scored 4 goals in the Premier League, joint top goal scorer Bruno Fernandes. And it was just all set up for him to get his goal against Manchester United, go top goal scorer. But obviously he can't do that now, and I think he's been a massive part of West Ham's play going forward. So now they've got to have a different strategy without Antonio. Daza says, we'll play CAC, but probably get a result somehow. To be fair, I wouldn't even be that annoyed with that. I mean, the result is all that matters at the end of the day. At this point in the season, the result is all that matters. And I some ways agree with you, especially away from home. This season so far, apart from the 2 home games where we've won 5-1 and 4-1, we haven't really set the world alight. We drew 1-1 with Southampton. We won 1-0 against Wolves with a bit of a fortunate goal. So in the league this season, when we've gone away from home, it hasn't been pretty, and I don't expect it to be pretty tomorrow, to be honest. But 3 points is 3 points, and especially when you look at the fact that Chelsea and Spurs are playing each other, and Man City obviously dropped points today. 3 points is what matters. We need to capitalise, in my opinion. Box, I agree with you, says, under Ollie, we're very hot and cold. Yeah, I think you're right. As I said, for some reason, this season at home, we've been, fairly good. I mean, I know against Newcastle, actually the first half we weren't that great and we scored the goal, but actually Newcastle were in that game really up to the hour mark, and then obviously Ronaldo scored the second and it was just one-way traffic from there. But actually, you're right, we've been pretty hot and cold. Wolves, I didn't think we played that well. Southampton, we didn't play well at all. Obviously, Young Boys didn't play well. So, yeah, this season we've been up and down, and actually probably not our best at all. And I think Ollie at the start of the season was making out, that the first few games of the season would be our pre-season. But it has been, 4 or 5 games now. And this team you'd expect to be fully fit and raring to go and happy to play together and know how to play together. I know it's going to take a little bit of a while to gel fully, and obviously players like Sancho and these guys need a bit of time to adjust to the league. There's no question about it. At the same time, I think we'd be expecting better results than 2-1 defeat to Young Boys. But yeah, obviously this is the league, and the league is the bread and butter. We can put the Champions League to one side, thank God, and we can just focus on the league. And we need to get back into that, obviously. We need to win our next game. But we're not talking about the Champions League. Box says, Liverpool looking ominous, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, you know what? At the start of the season, I kind of discounted them a little bit, but they are really showing me that I was wrong. They still look like the title-winning team of a couple of seasons ago. But what I would say about Liverpool is they are a couple of injuries away from being distinctly average again, because I think a lot of Liverpool fans, have said this, is that their starting 11 is capable of winning any league title. That starting 11, Mane, Firmino, Salah, Henderson, Thiago, Fabinho, all them guys, Virgil van Dijk, they are capable of winning the league title. But, realistically, if they get an injury to a Salah or a Mane for a sustained period of time, they are in trouble. They're definitely in trouble. But fair play to them. Today's win, pretty good win. Box says City showing chinks in the armour, which is a plus. Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, I was thinking a little bit that City, before the start of the season, if they didn't bring in a striker, may struggle to score goals in games. And I think if Harry Kane joined City, it would have been an absolute write-off. So I'm counting my lucky stars that he's not playing for Man City. Box says, under Ollie, we need to start stringing a sentence of wins together at some point during the season if we're serious about winning the league. Yeah, you've got to put together 10 or 11 game runs. You know, you've got to put together some really, really good patches of football. You know, you can't just win the league by, playing well one week and then drawing the next week. You know, that'll only get you top 4 if you have a good period of play. And, that's one thing that people question Man United. Do we have that ability to be consistent? And you hope with the players we've got, you hope with the personnel we've got, that we have that capability, or at least we're getting very close to it. We must be getting close to it now. But we need to have that consistency, and right now we're not exactly showing it, I have to say. Matthew says, without Antonio, who scores the goals? Comments would precede unfortunate events, I reckon. But it is true. Obviously, their main attacking threat this season has been Antonio. They drew their last game 0-0, even with Antonio on the pitch. And it seems like Southampton are actually a pretty good defensive side. Drew 0-0 again with Man City this weekend. So, they've got a few draws, Southampton, but defensively, they seem pretty rock solid. So, maybe it's just a bit of a blip. But, to be fair, without Antonio, it's going to be difficult for them. But they do have some tricky players. They do have players that can cause us problems. And I think set pieces, you look at the centre-backs they've got, obviously Declan Rice as well. He's someone who'd be trying to pull the strings and make it difficult for us in there, breaking up play. He's been on good form lately. But I think they've got players that will cause us problems. There's no doubt about it. They will have players that will cause us problems. And I think set pieces will be a big thing. Souček's a good shout, yeah. Ben Rama, as Box is saying, and Daz also says Souček as well. And Box says you'll probably have Aaron Cresswell bang his 1 in 3 years free kick. Exactly, yeah. Oh, I remember that. Oh my god, yeah. Obviously, that was what, Ollie's second season in charge, or was that his first full season? Actually, I remember that. Yeah, that was shocking. But as I said, for some reason, we are very hot and cold at the London Stadium. One year we win, the other year we lose. Unfortunately, last year we won, so hopefully we can break that cycle, hopefully. But yeah, we're going to talk a bit about Manchester United. And one of the things I want to talk about is the midfield. Not as if we've talked about it every single stream we've had. But what I want to talk to you guys about is the fact that McTominay has travelled with the Man United team. Which means Ollie will have McTominay, Fred, Matic, all at his disposal, and Donny van der Beek, of course. Who can forget Donny van der Beek? Well, apart from Ollie, every single sodding week. But those 4 midfielders have to fill one place. Realistically, Pogba and Fernandes are going to be permanent fixtures in this team. Whether Pogba plays on the left or in the pivot, he will be starting pretty well every week. So there's one place to fill. Does he go a bit more conservative and play the Matic or McTominay, or does he stick Donny van der Beek in? I think there's a 90% chance of one of those answers happening. But let me know your thoughts. I think if McTominay's fit, I think he'll play McTominay. I really do. I think we'll see Pogba and McTominay in the pivot. Now, I'm not a fan of Pogba in the pivot. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a fan of it. But I think Ollie doesn't mind it. And to be honest, I don't say it loudly, but I think we could see McFred tomorrow. If Fred and McTominay are both fit, Ollie might go for it. He might just go for it. And say what you will about that in the live chat. Dowser said, Rice scored a great solo goal the other day, so he could do it against us if we play like we did at the Wankdorf. Yeah, well, if we play like we did at the Wankdorf, we'll be in serious trouble because West Ham are better than Young Boys. So we'll be in absolutely serious trouble. We'll be in deep waters. Matthew says, Mark Noble to become prime Lampard guaranteed. Well, yeah, it's his last chance to play at home against Manchester United's career. I think he's retiring at the end of this season. So it's his last season for West Ham. You never know. He could turn up and do a madness. But he loves playing against United, to be fair. He loves scoring penalties against Man United. That's all I remember. Daz says, as long as Fred doesn't play, then good. I get shot of him. He's about as good as a wet fart. Yeah, I know. Fred, so far this season, he's not been at his best. And it's frustrating because we have seen Fred play well. But yeah, this season he has been so poor, so poor. I mean, I don't think I've seen a worse run of games from a player. I really don't, because he kind of fell off towards the end of last season as well. So this run of bad form has been going on for a long time, Rasmus says, I think McFred's starting is beyond doubt. Yeah, I think with Ollie at this point, I think if both of them are fit, he's going to play them. And there's going to be a lot of fans that will be annoyed at that, upset, angry. But Ollie's going to do what Ollie's going to do, you know what I mean? Box says Lingard flopped at the Wankdorf. Yeah, it was sad for him, really. You know, it was sad for him. I thought actually he took his goal well against Newcastle, and I was thinking, you know what, if we can get the Lingard that played for West Ham towards the back end of last season, we'll have a great player on our hands. We'll have someone that will really be able to add to our squad. And then he does that, and he just, it's hard, you know, those sort of situations, they're frustrating for fans. But you can't imagine what was going through his head. I mean, was anything going through his head at the time, to be fair? But you can't imagine what was going through his head at the time. And what was going through his head afterwards, to be honest. So, yeah, hopefully he can get back to his best. Dada says, watch Lingard score against the Hammers. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, to be fair. And you know what? I hope he does, because West Ham basically said they didn't want him. Basically said they didn't want him for the price we were offering. So he should do it. You know, he should do it. Box said it seems like Fred plays every game. Yeah, I think the only time he didn't play was the Newcastle game, and we obviously won that game 4-1. So I think there is a bit of a correlation. You know, there is a correlation there. But for me, I don't know. Rasmus says, I'm not going to stress myself about Van der Beek anymore. He should just put a transfer request and save his career. Yeah, I think Ollie's the same, to be honest. I think Ollie's left Van der Beek. He's gone. I don't know. But for me, I think Van der Beek he's I think he'll get game time in the cups, but realistically, he is so much better than that, in my opinion. And Owen's joined as well. Thanks for joining. He's currently up north in Yorkshire. So you know, it's one of those things where we can't have it all the right way. But yeah, I'll get some guests on. I will put the link in the live chat, but I'll give my predicted lineup, and then I'll give my score prediction. Then we can have a few guests on, because I haven't done that in a while, and hopefully Adam is watching as well, because I feel bad if I get guests on. I've always said, actually I got him on the last stream, to be fair, for 5-10 minutes, but I'll give my predicted lineup. You guys can leave your predicted lineups in the live chat as well. I'm going to go with David De Gea in goal. I'm going to go with Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Varane and Shaw. I'm then going to go with Pogba, McTominay, Fernandes. Then I'm going to go with Sancho, CR7 and Mason Greenwood on the right hand side. That's what I'm going with. Rashford's not available because obviously he's still getting back to fitness. Ollie said it would be 2 more weeks before Rashford would be ready. So basically after the international break, we're looking at Marcus Rashford coming back into the team, which if he plays like he has done in the past, but even particularly actually in Ollie's first full season, we should be good. I tell you, we'll be eating good. We'll be eating very good. So yeah, that's my predicted lineup. Let me know your predicted lineups in the live chat, and I'll give my score prediction. I reckon it's going to be a 2-1 win to Manchester United. I think West Ham score first, and we score 2 goals in the second half, win the game 2-1, and we come away with 3 points. It's not the best performance, but we show our character away from home once again. 2-1. Cristiano Ronaldo with one of them, and a Bruno Fernandes penalty. That's my prediction. I hope, in some ways, I hope it doesn't come true, because I don't want to sit through a game that dramatic again, but a win's a win. Doesn't matter how we get it, a win's a win. So I'm going to go with 2-1. 2-1 United, and that is the way the goals are going to come. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat, but I'll put the link very, very shortly. Box says, I read in The Sun that Rice is our number 1 priority. I don't trust The Sun as far as I could throw it, to be honest with you, but we have been heavily linked to Declan Rice. There's no doubt about it. We have been heavily linked to him. So there could be some truth in that. I always thought he was going to go to Chelsea, to be honest, but Chelsea have got such a stacked midfield that I don't think that's going to happen anymore. What happened to Tom Journalist? I don't know. He seemed to have gone off the face of the earth again, but I'm sure in a few days' time we'll be back, and there'll be no explanation why. But Tom, if you're watching, come back to us, mate. Come back to us. Daz's predicted lineup is David De Gea, Varane, Maguire, Aaron, Masaka, Shaw, McTominay, Fred, Bruno, Sancho, Ronaldo, Greenwood. That is what I think. And you know what? I think that's a fair shout. Obviously, you've gone with McFred in the midfield behind Bruno. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Ollie, as I said earlier, if Fred and McTominay are fit, I wouldn't put it past him to start him. I just think he'll probably still stick with Paul Pogba, and we'll see only one of McFred play in the pivot next to Pogba. So it'd be interesting to see who that is, but I could be absolutely wrong. There could be a formation change entirely. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the link in the live chat for anyone who wants to join. Have your say. We'll be wrapping up obviously at the hour mark, so we've still got another half an hour left. Plenty of time to get through your thoughts and views on the game tomorrow, and it'd be good to talk to you guys. I haven't talked to you guys in a while, especially some of you in the live chat now, but it gives me a little break to say if you're enjoying the content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Only 2 subscribers away now, I think, from 900 subscribers on the channel. So thank you so much for all support. Really do appreciate it. And anything you guys can do to help us out to get to that goal would be absolutely amazing. Rasmus says, Bruno penalty. Do you think CR7 will let him have a sniff at penalties? It's a fair point, Rasmus. It's a fair point. I'll give you that. But I wouldn't be surprised. But you've got a good point. Ronaldo probably wouldn't miss a chance to take a penalty. But yeah, we'll add in Dazza. It's good to have him on. I haven't had you on in a while, mate. But yeah, Dazza, thanks for coming, mate. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, first of all, how are you doing?
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm not doing too bad, thank you very much. Just the Bow result today really irritated me because we were 1-0 up and then we bottled it. And that's literally, we played Blackpool like twice in 2 months and we lost to them twice. So, nothing like a good start to the season.
Well, hopefully Man United don't mimic the same result as that. But yeah, obviously the does sound very, very frustrating. But on to your thoughts on the United game. Going away to West Ham, it's never an easy game for Man United. We did win the last game. We went there 3-1. Came back from a 1-0 down at half time. How do you see the game playing out? And also, firstly, who do you think is West Ham's biggest strengths? Who do you think we have to watch out for?
First of all, it's great to be back on. Obviously, away from home, I think we play worse away from home than we do at home, obviously. When we're at Old Trafford, we've got the home advantage. Certainly showed it against Young Boys. Young Boys had the initiative. We turned up and, we didn't even perform against them, absolutely dominated against them. And if we do that against West Ham, considering their fans are, I'd say, quite passionate, they've got quite a lot of passionate fans, we could be in for a long evening. Then again, I've said that before. I said that, I think, against Southampton before. And I knew when we played Southampton it was going to be a tough game. It showed that. But obviously with Ronaldo into the team, he certainly makes an impact. He's on 3 goals in 2 appearances so far. So he's having a good start. But if we play Fred alongside Nemanja Matic, which, to be honest with you, I'd rather him play alongside Fred, in fairness, because alongside McTominay. Sorry, Fred plays alongside Fred. God,
don't need 2 of them. Exactly. Yeah.
Alongside McTominay, I mean. Yeah, if Fred comes up with McTominay, then we probably have a better chance. But him alongside Matic just doesn't work. It's 2 slow-moving donkeys next to each other who can't even make a 5-yard pass. At least McTominay can. I mean, I could probably make more 5-yard passes than both Fred and Matic could, to be honest. But I think Ronaldo will have another good performance. He'll get himself another goal. Bruno, in the recent performance against Young Boys, he didn't really turn up. Yeah, he got an amazing assist for the goal, but I don't know about Bruno. He seems to be a bit inconsistent at times, like the full team, to be honest. He'll have one good game, and then he'll play cack, and then have and then he'll have a good game, then another cack game. It's inconsistency, not just from him, but from the whole squad as well. We're way too inconsistent. So I say, if we want to get anything out of West Ham, we're going to have to turn up. We can't afford to be playing terribly, and we've got to take the chances. Because against Young Boys, we had very little chances, didn't really take them, and then we tried to defend a 1-0 lead against them. I know we were down to 10 men, so you could probably understand why we were trying to defend against them. But when you're trying to defend a 1-0 lead against a team that are just constantly pressurising you every 2 seconds, you're going to crumble. So we better not do that against West Ham. Do that against West Ham, and it'll be curtains.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think as well, obviously you made the point about consistency. I think somebody else said that earlier in the stream as well. That is the problem. If you do want to challenge for league titles, you have to be consistent. And West Ham are a team that will punish you if you're off. They are the sort of team that have those quality players. Obviously, they're not a top 6 team, but they do have those players that will punish you. A few comments, by the way, just before we ask Darryl the next question. Owen wants to mention that he's cooking meatballs at the moment, apparently, and he wants to publicise the achievement that he's having some vegetables with his meal. So there you go. Congratulations, mate. Matthew says if Ollie has some bottle, he will keep Bruno on penalties. He's a better penalty taker than Ronaldo, end of. I think there'd be some people that would debate that with you, to be fair, mate. Diogo C. Palace, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it as well. Appreciate it. And also RB Comms, thanks for joining. Thanks to everyone who's joined in. Really do appreciate it. But Darryl, you want to say something about the... by the way, RJ, thanks for joining as well, RJ. Appreciate it. Sorry I couldn't make the show yesterday, by the way. I do apologise. I was out busy yesterday, but I will definitely come on sooner rather than later. Don't worry. But make sure to check out RJ as well. Robotics Jaguar, in the live chat. Make sure to check out his channel. And let's talk Premier League. But Darryl, you wanted to talk about Matthew's comment about Ronaldo's penalties.
Yeah. It's a difficult one because, Bruno is our number 1 penalty taker. Either him or Rashford normally. Rashford's obviously out, so it'll be Bruno. But do you seriously think that Cristiano Ronaldo is going to let Bruno take penalties ahead of him? He's a penalty taker in his own right as well. And he's one of the best takers in the world, to be honest. And he very, very occasionally misses penalties. I know it's the same. It's the same when it comes to Bruno. Very rarely misses. So they're both good penalty takers. But is Ronaldo likely to let Bruno take a penalty ahead of him? I don't think so. And by the way, I'm not the Middlesbrough Fred in 5-a-side. It's just I've got a lack of fitness. Can't do very much. But I could probably do... I reckon still do more than Fred.
I reckon you got a better passing range. But yeah, by the way, make sure you do check out RB Comps. Make sure you check out RB Comps as well. Brilliant compilations, honestly. Trust me, some great stuff on there. He's getting better and better. His edits are getting better and better. He says, obviously, he's a Juventus fan, so he's watched Cristiano Ronaldo at his club, and he's saying, just don't let Ronaldo on free kicks. He's simply awful at free kicks now. Apparently, he scored 1 in 3 years at Juve. Yeah. To be fair, even at his time at United, he was pretty good at free kicks.
It was a massive downfall in his career. As soon as he left Real Madrid, he wasn't the same, was he?
Well, no, yeah, definitely. I mean, he did win the title, but I guess at that point, Juventus were always winning titles. But at the same time, I think his free kicks have always been up and down, to be fair. Even when he was at United, they'd have a period where he just wouldn't score any at all. But when he did score them, they were absolutely spectacular. Let's see. Definitely. That is true. I think Aaron Cresswell, actually, for West Ham, he sometimes bags a free kick, especially against Man United. He loves a good free kick against them. Apparently, Bob Key, Super Kent, has won the finals, by the way. Just wanted to shout that out for any Kent fans watching, any Kent cricket fans watching. I'm sure there's loads. But onto the team, obviously, Darryl. You put you put your predicted 11 in the live chat. I'll get it up for you. Just talk me through your predicted 11. Why have you chosen the players you have?
I just don't think he's going to make many changes from the game against Young Boys. And I know I mean, it's practically the same squad that played with one or two changes. But if anyone's going to play up front, Ronaldo, I would play Ronaldo up front. I know it might look different on the actual lineup. I wasn't putting them in the exact order. I think he'll go back to the 4-2-3-1 formation. And he'll play McTominay and Fred as the double pivot. I'd rather it be McTominay and Fred rather than McTominay and Matic. Bruno will play centre attacking mid. Sancho, and I would assume Greenwood will be playing left mid and right mid, Ronaldo up front. I would rather him up front than Mason Greenwood because Ronaldo's got more experience up there. Greenwood is a right mid. He is not a striker. He has not got the capability, personally. I know this is probably a controversial one, but Greenwood for me does not have the capability to be a striker. He's a right mid. Simple as that. What
about in the future?
I think there might be a few people probably expect. Say again?
No, I was just going to say, in terms of Greenwood, do you reckon in the future he could fulfil that number 9 role? Obviously, he's still only 19. Do you reckon in the future he could potentially be United's number 9?
In the future, yes. In the future. But at the minute, in his young age, no. At right mid, he plays a lot better. I mean, put it this way. A lot of people say, and I'm one of them, Greenwood plays better as a right mid. As soon as he plays at striker, he's nowhere near as good. So this is what I'm saying. At striker, I don't think he's capable or good enough up there. Hence why I'd prefer to see him as a right mid. He's one of the best finishers in the league, don't get me wrong. But at striker, it just doesn't seem to work out for him whatsoever.
I mean, we have seen obviously his finishing. I think at youth level he scored 40 goals from striker, but again, that's a different level altogether. But I think with Ronaldo coming in, Ronaldo has to play number 9. I mean, in the end of the day, when you're paying Ronaldo as much as you are and you bring him in, Ronaldo's always going to play number 9. But to be fair, as I've said before on the stream, I feel like, in my opinion, Ollie likes a fluid front three. So sometimes you'll see Sancho on the right, sometimes you see him on the left, sometimes you see Greenwood on the right and the left, and sometimes Greenwood will be through the middle as well. And Ronaldo, of course, is the same. So throughout a game, you will see the players swap positions, and whether that's the right thing to do or not, whether that does hamper us a little bit. For example, if we want to put a cross in, and all of a sudden Ronaldo's on the wing, and Greenwood's in the middle or Sancho's in the middle instead of Ronaldo, and you get players out of position, it can be a bit annoying. But at the same time, it does help, make it difficult for defenders, to be fair. Let's talk Premier League. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it, mate. He disagrees, Daz. He says Greenwood is literally a striker. What are you chatting? To be fair, I think you can reply to that, Daz, if you want.
How many times he played as striker? He barely plays. And whenever he plays a striker, he doesn't perform to standards. At right mid, he plays all the time and is much, much better. Right, anyways, I'm not going to start an argument. I don't want to on here.
No. It's all about opinions. It's all about opinions at the end of the day.
Greenwood scored last time he played as striker. Yeah. I know Greenwood scored last time he played as a striker. But that was wasn't that against Newcastle? And Newcastle are cack. And
that's one thing we can agree on.
Wolves, sorry, not Newcastle. Wolves.
Yeah, Wolves. Yeah.
We didn't even turn up that game. Nobody played well that game. Newcastle, they're just cack. We're coming up against some crap defences. He's not going to be able to do it against West Ham, who are very well organised. You play him up front against a team like West Ham or Man City or Liverpool, any of the big six sides, he won't do it. No, it wasn't against Leeds. It was against Wolves. I've just checked because he played striker against Wolves.
Oh yeah. He scored. Right. He scored that goal against. He scored that goal against Leeds in the in the first game of the season. I'm not sure if he was playing a striker at that point. He might have been, to be fair, but Yeah, the 5-1. Yeah, that. Obviously, I mean, he scored what? It's scored 3 times this season already. So I mean, you know, hopefully tomorrow he bags as well. Hopefully he does. But let's see any more comments coming in. Let's see. RB Comp says, gonna be an interesting game. West Ham versus Man United. Won't be a walk in the park for United, I imagine. But I'm gonna go. He thinks United will edge it 2-1. Mate, great minds think alike. That's exactly what I said. It leads me on to Daryl. What is your score prediction for the game? What is your score prediction?
I think it'll be the same case as usual. We go 1-0 down. That always seems to be the case. But then, of course, when we're away from home, we always seem to come back. So I think we'll beat 2-1. I think it'll be tight. I think it'll be tense. I don't think it'll be pretty. Don't get me wrong, it never is normally. I don't think it'll be pretty, but I think we can scrape a result. By the way, Cavani did not start against Wolves. He came on off the bench. And then Greenwood went to right wing. That's when he played better. But before he came on, he was a striker and did nothing. So. Oh yeah, I think
Cavani did come off the bench in that one. I think he did. To be fair, but Greenwood. To be fair to Greenwood, his trademark goal is coming off that right hand side and hitting it on the left foot in the near post. That's kind of his trademark goal. But this season, he's been coming off that left hand side as well. So hey, as long as he's scoring goals, I don't care if he's playing striker, left winger, right winger. Appreciate it as well, Diego, mate. Appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Really do appreciate it. He's saying his prediction is 2-1 West Ham with Man United. 2-1 up at half time. No, sorry. I can't read. He's saying United are going to be 2-0 up at half time and then United win 2-1 in the end. So we're going to concede. But I'm just hoping we stretch that unbeaten run to 29. I hope we do. Owen asks, wonder if Tom is still scared of Everton. That was a long time ago. He said that. But yeah, Everton today didn't cover themselves in glory. I'm not going to lie. Absolutely walloped by Aston Villa. Walloped. RB Comp says, replace Ronaldo, Sancho and Daz and Kieran. Oh, sorry. Replace Ronaldo and Sancho with Daz and Kieran. United win the treble this year. I don't know how true that is, but I'll take your word for it, mate. And listen, I'll happily take their paychecks. I'll happily take the money they're on, trust me. Box says, if I saw...
100k a week, yeah.
Yeah, not bad. Box says, if I saw Ronaldo eating horse shit before a match, I'd eat it too, so Troy Deeney. Yeah. I'm not surprised that came from Troy Deeney, I'm not going to lie. I'm not surprised that came from Troy Deeney. Yeah. He's that sort of character. But he's doing his job for Birmingham City, his boyhood club, so fair play to him. And to answer your question, Rich, I haven't seen Tom. I don't know where he is. As I said, I reckon he'll make an appearance like in the next week, and there'll be no explanation, but he'll just turn up, I reckon.
He was on. I don't think he was on Richard's stream, or was it somebody else's stream, like the other week? But I haven't seen him since. It's been a while. I mean, to be honest, the transfer window's finished, so yeah, he probably has gone to sleep.
Yeah, maybe he's just resting. He's a journalist after all. Exactly.
Transfer window.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably busy doing stuff. But I don't know. Hopefully we'll see him back soon now. Always have a good laugh.
Yeah.
Normally, so it's a shame when he's
it's good.
Not around.
It's good. We need to get you, Tom and Owen back on for get the Trinity. Get the Trinity back on. After a game, that'll be good. That's always good having you guys on.
Oh, I remember when he used to have all these arguments with Owen. It was really good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's got to come back. By the way, I did mention earlier, make sure you do check out Let's Talk Premier League as well. Brilliant stuff over there. Make sure you do check out that channel if you haven't already. Diego says, if Varane doesn't start, I may flip-flop on my prediction. I think it's a pretty safe prediction to say Varane is going to start this game. I think it's pretty safe to say. But Dazza, I want to ask you, I guess, because we've got a bit of time. Yeah, I think you're right. But because we've got a little bit of time, I want to ask you about the new signings and just in general. Out of the 3 signings we've made, who do you think is going to have the biggest impact on this team? It might sound like a stupid question, but who do you think will have the biggest impact on this team?
On the team? Probably Ronaldo, to be honest with you. You know, I mean, 3 goals and 2 already. I mean, yeah, they were against Newcastle and against young boys, and somehow we lost against young boys. But I think if anyone's going to score down, it would probably be Billy. But I'm going to go for Red. Really, a lot of people say we're not. I think they'll play a massive part of title challenge as a team from that back line. The defence, well, since Lindelof has left, he hasn't left, but since Varane's come in for Lindelof, the defence has been stronger, it's been better and more resilient in games. But as soon as Lindelof comes in, like against young boys, fall to pieces. Either Varane's just miles better than Lindelof, or Lindelof is getting worse and worse every single game. Which is probably the second of it. It's probably Lindelof getting worse, if anything. It wouldn't really surprise me. Let's just say that. But yeah, Varane, I think Varane's going to make a massive difference for us this season.
Yeah, well, Rich agrees with you. He goes with Varane as well. And also Diego says Varane. So everyone's agreeing with you, Daz. Great minds think alike, I guess. He says Varane for me, but I can see the case for Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, he is the major impact player of the team. But if we looked at what we actually needed at the start of this window, I don't think many people are saying we absolutely need Cristiano Ronaldo. I think most people are looking at, a CDM, a centre-back, and then a winger. So I think, Ronaldo obviously is a great signing and probably somewhere down the line, especially with Cavani's contract expiring at the end of this season, we needed a centre-forward. But I do feel like bringing in Cristiano Ronaldo, it's not the worst signing we could have made. I mean, some people have said it's going to, potentially actually have a detrimental effect on the team because it then becomes... Well, yeah, I mean, the one thing I would say about Ronaldo is that it can become the Ronaldo show, where basically everyone has to play around Ronaldo and everything becomes about Ronaldo, which then takes a lot away from some of the other players. But if we win the league, I don't mind if it's the Ronaldo show. I don't mind. Obviously, you have to be successful. That's the one thing. You have to be successful. Go on, Daz. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I think with Ronaldo, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's one of the best. See what you mean.
Yeah, I think so. But anyway, yeah, I think we've got through everything, to be honest. Obviously, we've all said our predictions. Did you say an actual score prediction, like a score prediction?
Yeah, I said 2-1 United. I think it'd be. I don't think it'll be particularly pretty. By the way, if it comes up on the stream, if people think I'm interrupting you on the stream, I'm not. It's just for some reason, my connection on StreamYard isn't brilliant, so my sound comes through like 10 seconds after I've said it. So that's why I'm not trying to interrupt you at all. That's just what.
No.
Yeah, 2-1 United. I think.
No, that's fine. Yeah, no, that's that. I said there was a few big pauses, but no, I understand that. Don't worry. I didn't think you were trying to interrupt me or anything. And I'll be conscious. My head tells me Dad's hat trick. My head tells my heart tells me Dad's hat trick. My head tells me a 2-1 United Sancho winner. Hey, I hope Sancho gets his first goal. You know, back in London for him, Sancho gets the winner for United. Wouldn't be a bad day at the office at all. But you know what? We'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Daz, for coming on. Really appreciate it. Make sure you do check out Daz's Football Stand. Also, check out Rich Sports. And, of course, check out Let's Talk Premier League, Robotics Jaguar as well. All the channels that we've shouted out on tonight's stream. RB Comps as well. Check him out. Make sure to check out all these guys as well if you haven't already. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in. Really do appreciate it. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. But until the next time we meet, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.